Welcome back, boys and girls. Let's jump back into our Saxon phonics lesson. Welcome back, boys and girls. Listen to these words and listen for the sound in the middle position. Tide, line, mile. What sound do you hear in the medial position? Tide, line, mile. We hear the I sound in the middle of each of these words. Let's look at these words up on the board. Tide, line, mile. What do you see that is making the I sound in these words? We see the letter I in the middle of each of these words. What do you see that might be making the letter I make its long sound? We see sneaky E again. And sneaky E is silent. Remember, sneaky E jumps around and makes the letter I say its name and make its long sound, I. So remember, when we have a long vowel, we're going to code it with a macron. Good job, boys and girls. So we have learned another letter that goes with our vowel, consonant E rule. So we have this card for today. I, consonant E. And when we see this card, we're going to read I, consonant E. And to help us remember what sound I, consonant E makes, we have dime, I. Before today, when I would say the letter I, we would say and write I. But since we have our new rule, whenever I say the letter I, we're going to say and write I, consonant E, comma, I. We have another vowel that goes with our vowel consonant E rule. We have E, consonant E. So when we see this card, we're going to read E, consonant E. And to help us remember what sound E, consonant E makes, we have concrete E. Up until today, when I would say the letter E, we would write and say E. Now, because E, consonant E, isn't a very common spelling, we won't add a new response to our E sound. So from now on, when you hear E, we're just going to write E until we learn another rule. So let's take a closer look at our keywords. We have dime. How do we code the word dime? We see sneaky E at the end of the word. And we know sneaky E jumps over and makes the I say its long sound, say its name. We also have the word concrete. That's what we walk on the sidewalk. Concrete. So we also have the word concrete. Let's see if we can break apart this word. Let's start with some obvious coding, some easy coding first. I see the letter C, so I'm going to put a K back to remind myself that it makes the K sound. I see another letter C kind of in the middle of the word, so I'm going to put another K back to remind myself of the sound. Now, I also see a vowel, consonant, 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 vowel rule. Now, the word concrete follows a syllable division pattern we haven't learned yet. So I'm going to help us code it. So we need to draw our syllable divider line, and we're going to put our accent after our first syllable. Now, I know you all can help me with this part. Let's code our first syllable. I see a vowel followed by a consonant, so I'm going to code it with a breve. Let's look at our second syllable. Look at the end of the word. What do you see? We see sneaky E, so we're going to cross it out. And we know sneaky E jumps over and is going to make the letter E make its long sound. We also have a new sight word for today. We have the word sure. Are you sure you want to see that movie today? Now remember, sight words do not always follow the rules. So this word does not seem to follow our vowel consonant E pattern we've been learning this week. That's why it's important to remember that sight words are words that we need to memorize. So when we see our sight words in our reading or in our worksheets, we circle them because these are words that we know. Good job, boys and girls. Now let's go ahead and practice coding some words up on the board. But before we begin, let's review the rule we've been talking about this week. Our vowel consonant E. A vowel followed by a consonant and a silent E is long. We code the vowel with a macron and we cross out the silent E. Let's look at our first word. Do you see any obvious or easy coding? No, I don't think so. So I think we need to get down to looking for our pattern. I see a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel pattern. So I'm going to draw our syllable divider line, and I'm going to put an accent mark after the first syllable. I always put the accent mark after the first syllable. That's usually where it goes. If when I'm reading the word, I notice that the second syllable should have the accent, then I move my accent. Let's go ahead and let's code our first syllable. I see a vowel followed by a consonant, so I'm going to code it with a breve. Let's look at our second syllable. Look at the end. I see our sneaky E, so let's cross it out. And we know that sneaky E jumps over and makes the other E say its name, make its long sound. So let's code it with a macron. Let's go ahead and let's read this word. Stampede. Stampede. I notice that when I read the word stampede, the second syllable is higher and louder and longer than the first syllable. Maybe I should move my accent mark. I also know that the word stampede is a verb. It's something, usually animals, on a ranch might do. Watch out for the cows. We do not want to start a stampede. Remember that when we have a verb, our accent mark will go after the second syllable. Let's take a look at this phrase. Let's start with the first word in this phrase. Do we see any obvious coding? We see digraph NG. So let's go ahead and let's underline digraph NG. Now let's look for our vowel. Is it followed by a consonant? Yes. In fact, digraph NG is a consonant digraph. A vowel followed by a consonant is coded with a breve. Now let's look at our next word. Look closely. I see sneaky E, so let's cross it out because it is silent. And I know that sneaky E is going to jump over and make the letter I make its long sound. It's going to say its name and go I. Now let's look at our last word. Look carefully at the end. We see suffix S, so let's box it in. And I know that suffix S is going to make the Z sound when it comes after a vowel sound. And I see digraph EE right there next to suffix S. So let's go ahead and let's draw our voice line through our suffix S to remind ourselves that it's going to go Z, Z, Z. Now let's underline digraph EE, and one of our E's is silent, and the other one is making its long sound. Let's go ahead and let's read this phrase. Strong pine trees. Reminds me of all those pine trees we're going to see at Christmas time. Strong pine trees. Good job, boys and girls. We've done a lot of work this week with our vowel consonant E rule that we've been learning. Keep on practicing with it, and we'll see you later. Bye.